Okay. So this is going to be a very interesting video for people to see in the future, because in this one I'm going to be talking about my blueprint for money and what I know that I'm worthy of and what I know that I'm about to create in my life. And this is probably going to be on Patreon, maybe I post it on YouTube, I don't know yet. It is mostly for myself to frame everything that I know is within my energetic atmosphere and imagination, and it is a video that will be confirmed once everything comes into fruition and completion. And this is for me to find the outline of how I am going to create that reality for myself that I know that I am meant to live. And it is about me being a millionaire. That's the aim. So how am I going to get to the place of being a multi-millionaire? The first thing is, I have always known that I'm meant for this. And it sounds cliche, but it is actually true. And it is true because I know that I'm a truly special human being. And this is maybe something that more people might think of themselves, or maybe they don't. I'm not sure about that, but I've always felt it in my being that I'm destined for something more. And also that I'm destined to take a role of leadership, because I understand things on a level that not many people understand things. My perspective has always been peculiar, and I've always been able to bring a refreshing energy into every space that I've been in, and people have always granted me the role of leadership, even if I didn't really understand why or intend to take that on. It's somehow been a natural current in my life. And from a very early age on, people have given me credit for my talents and for the fact that I'm a very intelligent human being and that I have a lot of tools in my hands, talents, tools, both on the level of creative, artistic intelligence and that more feminine, subtle dimension of poetic creativity, as well as on the level of intellectual capacities and discipline and planning. And I'm a high achiever, a perfectionist. Although this is also coming to a change, I'm finding more aspects of myself that are not so much perfectionist and very wild, but I get to combine my learned perfectionism and extreme discipline and focus and intensity towards something with that energy of total wildness and complete relaxation and letting go of everything and just trusting the process as the golden diamond for wealth in my life. And why are those qualities the golden diamond for wealth? Because I know that if I'm able to put myself into a space of being fully provided for and being fully confident in my offering, and knowing that there is nothing to worry about, knowing that there's nothing to hustle for, and that everything I desire in terms of physical circumstances is within reach and within the snap of a finger, then I can create extremely valuable things for this world. And I can already do that now. But the more I expand my capacity to hold this wealth and to manage wealth and to just know that money is flowing and that I don't have to worry about anything, that there is like no limits to my day and no limits to what I can do with every single minute of my life, and I can be fully devoted to my creative capacity in my life, I know that if that is to happen, my creations would be wonderful and helpful and refreshing and renewing and extreme to a level where tons of people, millions, billions, could be mind blown, and it could be life-changing for many. So in that sense, I know that it is what I want to create. And on the other hand, I also know that I'm worthy of being in that space, because that is where my highest excitement and my highest energy just naturally comes out. What else do we have? We know that essentially I'm the creator of my life experience. And I know that if I put myself in a position to embody something, that I can actually access this. And what does it require for me to embody wealth is mostly confidence. And just knowing that this is what I want to do. And knowing that I can separate myself from the belief systems of people who are totally stuck in the matrix and in a life in society that I know that I am not at all intending to live and never been able to even think about living. From a very young age, I've always known that I was never meant for a 9-to-5, homey, family, tree in the garden, boring type of life. I'm meant to be in adventures, to be traveling, to meet people, and also most specifically just to be creative in each and every moment. I want my life to be a precious creation. And it can be a fantastical creation. It doesn't even have to be real. I can tap into the illusory realm in every situation that I'm in and make my life into a game, make my life into an adventure and a story. And this way, I can also make real life challenges into that storybook, into that play. So if I'm the character in my life, wanting to become super wealthy and moneyed and flush, and I know that there are certain things, like certain roadblocks to skip, certain challenges to get over, I can gamify my life for myself and make it fun and make it playful, because anyway, I'm not attached to reaching that goal. It doesn't actually matter if I get there. It's just about the fun of trying to create that, of being in the creative process of the universe leading me there, and of me, myself, and I leading myself into that space where I get to experience that. And I think even the play pretend of being rich is already so fulfilling. I'm thinking of diamonds. I'm thinking of bathing with diamonds. It's not even that I'm wanting a private jet, or that I need this car, or that I want to eat in fancy restaurants or anything. I don't really have... I mean, it could be nice, maybe, to do sometimes, but I don't really have those desires. It's really mostly about enjoying my creative power and about testing my own creative capacities, because I know that I'm a creative human being. I know my mindset is flexible. I know that I'm loosened up from any and all belief systems that don't benefit me, and that I'm free to create something. And it's fun to create money because it's challenging and it fucks with people's minds. If I make it happen to the extent that I wish to make it happen, it's gonna fuck with people's minds, for sure. And that is what I like to do. Just show creative magic in terms of my freedom to be, behave, choose, and also to shift and transform. I could be a millionaire tomorrow, live that life for a year, then become a hermit in a monastery if I want to. I don't need to stick to a millionaire life because that is an identity that I necessarily need for myself. It's just now something that I'm urging for, that I'm wanting to create, and I find a challenge in that. I find a good, sweet, fun challenge in that. What else? As I was saying, I'm thinking of bathing with diamonds. I'm thinking of dressing up like a princess. And my wealth should support my natural radiance and brilliance and my imaginative empire. So it's not necessarily here to be invested or to make more money. Well, that will eventually happen anyway. But it's more so here to create more. It is more so here to create a larger imagination of what life could be, and to just have fun with the unlimited potential of how my life could look. And it would give me the ability to step into a new dress every day and embody a new identity every single day, and be like an actress in my own movie, taking on the character of whatever feels most relevant in each and every single moment of my life. Bathing with diamonds, chocolate baths. And of course, I would enjoy the luxury as well, but the place where I feel most luxurious is mostly in nature. I could travel to nature places that are beautiful, desolate, and simple, but at the same time luxurious. And there's something about water. I want to lie down in a flowing river for a whole day and just let the water drip all over my own body and enjoy the quiet and the rinse and the peacefulness of such a magical place. And these experiences maybe don't even require that much money, but having lots of money gives me the insurance that I can do that at any time I wish. And that is what I want for myself. That is the type of freedom I want for myself. And I want expressive freedom. I want to have clothes that I like and that I genuinely can cut with and play with and put together in funny and fanciful ways to just be more expressive, just be more of myself, just be weird. And I want to do things with all of my ideas like that. Having the tools in my hand like that. I want to go and bring 2 friends that I know that are great musicians and go into the studio, just book a studio and do an improvisation session of 8 hours and record everything. Bam, just because I want to. I want to have golden jewelry because I want to dress up like Lakshmi or even Kali today. I want to have golden jewelry all over my body and just walk around in it in town or do a photo shoot on the beach like that. And I want to travel to the places that are significant to me in my heart, such as Kailash, such as Mexico. I want to do ceremonies and I want to have body care. I want to have people massaging me, giving me hot stone massage, all types of body work that I don't even know. I want to have that full nervous system reset while I'm fasting in a place in nature and people are just like anointing my face with oils. Yes, maybe I do have some decadent dreams, but that just means that I'm meant for them. It's really what I want. And so I get to create this because I know that I'm a precious human being and that I have valuable things to offer. So it would be good for me to actually be in that space of receptivity, in a space of self-care, and being in that space of unlimited imagination and absolute freedom in order for that creative spark to just like burst and go into the world like a bursting beam of sun. So it's just about deciding that this is what I want, that this is what I'm worthy of, and then to start living it. And in terms of business, I think I would be extremely creative as well. I am not the type of person who wants to hustle in a business. I don't even want to think of it as a business. I don't want to do little offerings. I actually don't even want to channel for people. I know I have the ability to bring through information on demand about their lives and be of help to them. But I don't like that. I don't like that type of interaction where that is my role. I need to be free and creative, and I just need me and my own adventures to be the value. I want to be in the spotlight and be the inspiration in that sense, not in a service type of way. Actually, I don't want to hold space for other people. I want to hold space for myself and radiate. And that can help other people. I know. And I know that when I'm in that space, naturally I become giving as well. I give healings to people. I give them information and advice that lands in their soul and that changes their lives. I do things that just naturally happen because I'm in the space of freedom and in the space of enjoyment, exploration, and creativity. Not because I've made a business out of it, and not because I've put myself in a position of being in that role, being in that authority, and then wanting people to come to me for that. It's just not my way. It's just not my way. So, knowing that that is not my way, that I'm not so much about the concrete offerings, then the question becomes, what is my way? What is my product? And what is it that I'm going to sell? And this is where it becomes interesting because, as I said before, my aims with money are playful. And they are creative and they are imaginative and they are mostly about enjoying my own creative capacity and testing my own creative limits and expansion. And I think that ought to be reflected in how I treat money and how I treat products or things that I'm offering to the world and that can be sold. And I've had this idea for a very long time in my mind. I think the first time I ever thought about doing an exhibition and sharing artworks in a space, I wanted people to enter at a stand and either pay 20 euros income or receive 20 euros income. Up to them. Just choice. And I find this a funny idea, and I want to replicate that even on my future website, where you can give a donation or receive a donation. And it's up to you. You are free. You're a free being. And I grant you the freedom and the permission to receive money from me. And there would be some kind of caption where it says either you invest in me and my creative expansion or in your own. And if you are willing to receive this money from me, then it means you must invest it in yourself in a way that leads to your actual creative expansion. So there is some kind of commitment you have to make. And I don't care if people actually follow through on that commitment. I know that if you click that button, you have that energy implanted into your mind. There is some aspect of you that would feel guilty for not making the most out of yourself if you're just receiving money from an endless fund without putting it into something that liberates you, that set your creative expression free, and that brings you to life, that brings you into more fulfillment and more joy. So that is the aim of such a structure. And that is just the first idea. And I think many others like this will come. And I also think it is funny to really show how detached we can be from money and even the idea of business and still have it. And that is what I intend to show. So I'm more the type of person who wants to go and sell my paintings for €1 million and have those €1 million and then just do everything else for free for the whole world, just because I enjoy doing it. And because I know that big money is anyway with me and anyway supporting me and anyway coming my way and in my reality. So I want to be big, fast, easy and lazy rich and then just play my way through life and provide all of the value that I'm meant to give, that I'm already providing, in fact. And that is also interesting because we tend to link money to deserving and providing value, but I don't like that concept because I know we're all inherently value, and the creator mode that I am accessing and meaning to access even more in my life, what is meant to come through me is this mode where value is not even a thing. Value is not even a thing. It's not determined if something is valuable or not. Everything is just play. Everything is just creation. Creativity in its purity. sparkling, just an exploration of action and consequence, cause and consequence. So I don't even want to think of money as something that I get to receive because I'm offering value or providing something. Not even because I think of myself as valuable enough. I don't want to see money ranking according to how much I value myself and then slowly build along with that. I just kind of want to break these concepts apart and match money with trust and creativity. Just trust that all I want to do in my life is be creative, to be creating all the time, to be free in my expression, to make everything into a creative adventure and exploration, to pull everything into my imaginal realm and seeing how magical this life can be and what I get to do with it, and how I want to embody myself, which archetype I want to be in, how I want to respond to the world, how I want to invent situations and make frameworks for people to experience something beyond themselves, or influence situations that are already existing, or just pouring my life force into something by singing, dancing, chanting, whatever. Knowing that that is the space that I want to exist in. Naturally, money should just be there to support that process, regardless of what the hell I'm actually doing. Just regardless. It just should be there. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that funny? And I just watched a Little Tail Swan video, like a 20-second reel on Instagram, where she's explaining the richest people in the world, they don't at all match your way of thinking about money. For them, it is more about how do I get rid of all of this money? How can I find things to spend my money on? So there's literally not a thought in their mind about how am I going to earn money. There's not the conviction that they need to earn something, that they need to provide something in order to get that money. It is just that it is there, like their breath, like their body. Money is with them. It's just the standard of their lives. And for them, the question is just, how am I going to use this? Just the way that we would question what we're going to do with our time. And I want to live like that. I want my question to be, what am I going to do with my day today? What am I going to do with my time? What am I going to create? How am I going to make this world into a more joyous place? And thus, naturally, money should support that. Money equals time, they say. Time is money. Kind of the other way around as well. If I have limitless, endless money, then my question is just about how to invest my time. And also how to invest my money, but not even as a direct question. Just knowing that within the context of what do I want to do with my very limited and precious time on this planet before I'm dying, which could be any single moment, within that context, knowing that something is wanting to be created, money is just a tool to make that creation happen. That's all it is. Just a tool. Not something that I need to earn. Not something that I even need to ask from other people in exchange for what I'm offering. Because I'm offering out of free will anyway. Out of my own joy. Because I want to create. Because I like it. Because I'm free to do so. And because I've made myself free to do so. So that is the mindset that I am living with. That is the mindset that I'm going to create my life from and for, because that is the life that I want to live and that I know would suit me best, would match me best. And there is no question of, do I deserve this or not? Because I feel that it is the blueprint for how I am meant to live. So I know that it is anyway going to come for me. And if there would be such a question, why would the universe want that for me? How would it support the expansion of consciousness in this universe to create that for me? Then I know that it is because I am a spiritual royalty. And my energy is valuable, and my creations are valuable. And the more that I actually get to pour out my creations into the world, the more other points in the grid of this universe can benefit from that energy. And I know that I'm tapped into quite a strong divine channel of consciousness. And this channel is powerful in itself. It is infinite energy in and of itself. And it is wanting to touch other people, even beyond my own personal, mental, and limited capacity of understanding how that works and what that is. It is wanting to reach people always, at all times. And I can just feel that presence being in me, doing things to people, doing things to my surroundings, beyond my control, beyond my understanding. It is happening through me, as me, at all times, but it is not something that I do by choice. And I know that this is wanting to be created even more strongly, even more vividly, and wanting to be pushed into the world almost. And that requires that I'm comfortable, that I feel safe, that I feel good, that I feel free and joyous. Because in my joyous space, my heart is open, my body naturally relaxes, and this energy can expand massively. And it can effortlessly touch every single thing around me. When I'm in contraction, when I'm in my mind, in disbelief, thinking about value, thinking about providing, thinking about things I have to arrange, la-di-da-di-da, there is contraction. This energy is present, it is there in my field, but it is not in full flow. It is not in full surrender. It is not in full embodiment and center. So knowing that this is what this energy wants, that this energy wants to move out, to be in expansion, to move through me, to visit other people, visit other things, to find itself, basically. Knowing that that is what the highest energy source in this universe wants to work through me. I know that naturally the circumstances for that should be provided. So I just have to become a millionaire. I don't have a choice. I literally don't have a choice. I need to put myself in the position of receiving that blessing. And I know that people might find this insane to think of it that way. But it actually is how things work. And I know that it is how I work. I know that it is what I am meant to receive, what I am meant to experience, because it would grant for the highest experience of all. And so, working with this abundance energy, the first time it really hit me was when I got this donation of more than 3,000 euros for no reason. Well, actually for a reason, but I was dancing in the park with a friend of mine, an older man, and I did a heart healing, just very spontaneously, not because of an accord or anything. It was just a dance session, and it came through me. I did that thing, I healed his heart, he opened up, got some experience, and felt apparently very elated about it. I mean, I could also feel that, I could see how it impacted him, and it opened my heart as well to be doing that. But I had no expectations of an exchange whatsoever. So we just went home, and then a few days later, he gifted me 3,000 euros, just because I was in a space of believing that my creativity was the most important thing for me to live. I just want to be in my creativity all the time. That is what I enjoy doing. I want to be a child. I want to be a child. People telling me you're childish, you're like a young adult protesting and working against people and not doing what is expected of you, la 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 la. Yes, exactly. That is what excites me. I don't want to do what is expected of me. I want to go against the grain because the grain is boring and the grain is stuck and the grain is begging for help from people like me to forge a way out of the grain and show that something else is possible, and not even forge my way, not even cut my way through the jungle by having to fight. Just in absolute ease and relaxation, and with an absurdity of simplicity, just receiving the money. With that much simplicity and absurdity, I want to embody the wealth frequency. To just trigger the shit out of people. To just make them see like, holy fuck, what I am doing with my life. What am I stuck in? If it is actually possible to just get out, to just snap out of it like that and be in wealth. So I think I just revealed the key for myself on how to achieve this, which is to be in my creativity at all times and to just allow myself to be a playful child at all times and to gamify my life and to storyfy my life. And I do that. You know, this guy has been with me since I was born. Doesn't have a name, doesn't have a gender. I'm calling it a guy, but I don't know if he or she is, or they are. It's just a rabbit, a bunny, konijntje in Dutch. I call it konijntje. And they've been with me. I don't actually have connected to this little doll actively in the beginning of my spiritual path, when I was seeking and lost and not knowing and just like, what the hell is going on in consciousness and blah, 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 blah. Because then I was in discipline mode and I wanted to achieve something and I knew where I was going and I had an orientation and everything in my life was set in motion towards the embodiment of a higher consciousness. Then we access that to some extent because there's extents to it. And now we're coming back to our human embodiment and my own inner child. And I'm talking to this bunny. When I feel like it, I'm just telling it the story of my life and considering it my friend, and he's listening to me. And I think it's a he because I keep calling him a guy. And he consoles me when I'm feeling lonely and when I have questions. And also God consoles me. Sometimes when I'm really in that child energy and wondering and like, oh, I'm feeling so many things and it's a little bit scary, all of this, I'm just asking like, oh, I'm feeling scared. Please help me. And then instantly there is this energy just pouring over me, filling me up with love. Complete love. Showing me that it's fine. Taking care of me. And that is the God energy. That is my highest self, my highest consciousness taking care of me, coming into the body and taking care of me, of all aspects of me. I can also invite it to take care of my body. If I have pain somewhere or tension somewhere, I just sit, open myself up to my highest self, let that energy pour in through my head, and then I can, by using my awareness, make it move to different places in my body, make it move to my shoulder, if there's a little bit of tension there, la la la, I can do whatever I want. But I can also just surrender to that and just say, okay, I open myself up to this energy, may it do whatever it needs to do in my body. Or I'm feeling anxious, please relax me. And then that process just starts. So actually it is extremely magical what this energy can do. And for myself, I've kind of mastered the possibilities of what it can do, and I use it on myself all the time. I use it through my voice to channel it into my creativity, to channel it into my dance, in my singing, into paintings, and everything that is my own expression. I use it and I channel it to heal myself, to heal my mind, to heal my body, to heal things around me. And to the level of receptivity that people are open to it around me and that I feel safe in expressing that channel, I can also use it to heal other people. So I was on track of this because this puts me in the position of being a helpless child with the most magnificent and powerful support in the whole universe, which is God, infinite energy, which apparently seems to be very willing to help me. So maybe that is just something that I should apply in terms of money and resources as well. That instead of trying to figure out how am I going to get myself to believe that I'm worthy of so much money, and how am I going to work on my mindset and rewire all these money beliefs and work through the blockages around money and la 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 la. Instead of taking that active approach towards trying to change myself, I could just be a helpless child. Perhaps I could just say, I really, really, really want to live a life for myself where I can do anything I want in each and every moment. And now I'm feeling like I'm not sure if that will work out and if I will survive that. So please, God, highest self, universe, consciousness, please help me. Can you please show me how to do that? Or can you please make me feel safe to just do it? So it feels like the more pure I become with my own heart, and the more tender I become with my questions for help, the more I will actually trust and receive everything that I need. Now something is coming to mind about the fact that I like friction. And that on some level I enjoy being in friction. Which is not the hustle. It's not the striving to get something. But it's more so the friction of imagination against reality, and of being delusional and creative and just living whatever the hell I want to live. And the friction with the people who are not having the eyes to see it, are not open to that place in their own hearts where they understand that they're actually capable of creating, capable of limitless creativity. And I'm here for the people who know that they are creative, who know that they are capable of limitless creativity as well. but they already know it. They can just jump on the wave and be amplified by my success and my joy. But the people who don't see it yet, that friction, it fuels me. It gives me more. It gives me more juice. It gives me more joy. And it also gives me a challenge because, you know, what if they're right? What if I fail? It is that little bit of friction in myself that actually gives me the motivation that kind of shoots me up like an arrow. Makes me want to do it even more. Because I know that that is the highest service. In places of friction, we're in a service to this universe. We're in a service because we're opening up other people's limiting beliefs. And that is fun, and that is interesting, and that is helpful for those people, even if they don't realize it. It makes their life better. It slightly puts them in discomfort at some times because they experience friction. And if they are not in awe of friction, if they don't understand the purpose of friction, they just experience it as discomfort. And if they're intent on staying in comfort, staying in the dull zone, staying in the dead zone of repetition of endless cycles and living a life that is not fulfilling, then friction is just, no, not what I want. But if we're in the expansive zone of creativity, then friction is exactly what we want and exactly what we need, and it fuels us. It gives us the food, the rabbits, the corn. I don't know why these words are coming, but apparently they fit. And it's a little bit mischievous as well. It's just a tiny bit mischievous that I want to prove people wrong. I want to show them by my own presence, by making my life into the most beautiful gift and experience to myself that I could ever have, that I've always been right and on track for choosing my own freedom. And you know, I am right and on track for choosing my own freedom because I already enjoy it. I already enjoy it. It is already what I want to do. But getting the reps in, that's the wrong word, but I've been hearing it too much over the past few weeks. Getting the results, getting tangible results. And let's be honest, everyone craves to be rich. Everyone wants to have limitless freedom in their life to create and respond to each and every desire. Even if you don't recognize that, it is your nature. It is your innate nature to want to create because you are an aspect of this universe. And this universe is creation in itself, everywhere, all the time. It is happening. It is being created. The creative force is doing its thing. And maybe within you, it is wanting to create boredom, dullness, staying stuck. But deeply inside, it is always wanting to burst. So if you recognize that, and you can see that money is just a tool, it's not evil, there's nothing wrong with having money, there's nothing wrong with being a billionaire. The more money you have, the more you can do with it. And if you trust your capacity to do something good for other people and for the world, you actually intend to have a lot of money because you have the power to create so much more value, so much more important things for other people. So please become wealthy. Take the money out of the hands of big corporations that don't serve our well-being. Purify the money, purify the frequency of wealth by embodying it and choosing to invest it in communities, in the earth, in living a life that is actually healthy and supportive for human beings as a species and our giant environment that is not separate from us, that we are currently destroying. Take as much money as you can. Use it. Use it for good. Use it for what you believe in. Use it for what you're inspired to do. Don't stay stuck in the loop of a 9-to-5 job, thinking you cannot make money of your own and wanting to serve the big corporations, even while you know that they're not so, they're a little bit evil and like, and then complaining about rich people and evil and how we shouldn't get rich. No, don't get stuck up on that loop. You are powerful. We're all here to be rich and live rich lives. We're not taking money out of the hands of poor people by getting rich. We're only taking it out of the hands of rich people and building systems in which poor and rich doesn't actually matter anymore. Because the richness of life is in the circumstances that we create for ourselves. If all human beings on this earth can have clean water, organic foods, a sense of safety and connection within a community, and a sense of opportunity for their own creative projects and ideas, then we're all living a rich life. No matter how many cars you have standing in front of your door today, no matter how rich your life is in terms of money on your bank account, if you don't feel safe, creative, playful, explorative, if you don't feel nurtured in your body, if there's no relationship to your community, to a tribe, to a circle, a surrounding, it doesn't even have to be people, just to nature, to an environment. If you don't feel at home in yourself and in your space, that is not richness of life. So if that is what we intend to create for all of us, then we have to get money. We have to get loads of money. So please be on track with this for yourself. Determine for yourself that you're going to face all of your blockages around money and to become a wealthy human being. That means learn how to trust yourself. Make choices and support yourself in all of your choices and through all of the consequences of your choices so that you become the leader of your own life. Take leadership so that you can trust yourself with big amounts of money, big amounts of creative capacity. What else does it mean? Create a story for yourself, one that you actually believe. I know why I get to be wealthy, why it is needed for me to be so, why that is what I am going to create. Make a story of your own. Create in your imagination and in your heart, with the story that is fully resonant with your own being, a reason for you to be wealthy. Even if you don't want to be responsible, if you don't want to support in creating life circumstances on this planet that are actually beneficial to our species and to the larger environment of the earth that really needs it, even if you're not on board with that project, do it for yourself. Do it for your own joy. Do it because you know you're deserving of having that life where you get to experience whatever you want to experience. And if you truly feel like you can experience everything you want without money, then fine. Then you are wealthy. Then you are fulfilled.